And welcome in. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
I am having my signature Tito's cranberry orange juice. Mr. Nick, you need to tell the people what you're drinking and the three things for the show.
Well, I'm having my J-Lore Cabernet 7 Oaks, as per usual, as you like to say. Well, the Motor City Machine Guns are the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Bobby Lashley has debuted in AEW, and we have our WWE Crown Jewel predictions. It's Friday, November 1st, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. And welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday, Nicole.
Happy Friday. We made it.
Yeah, we made it.
Barely.
It's a long one, and this is going to be our last Friday for a few weeks as we are going on vacation. Come sail away with me. So this is a very special episode. As you can see in the description, this is our Nik-A-Versary episode, our very special episode. So we will get to those, our little special portion of that very shortly. But first, we always like to start our show with our new segment, our non-kayfabe news by Nikki.
That still makes me happy. Oh, so unfortunately, we start off with some more sad news. I think, what they thought was a work is kind of shooty. Our Rhea Ripley is off TV indefinitely. She did in kayfabe get beat up in the NXT parking lot. Again, the NXT parking lot is a terrifying place if you watch NXT. Don't go there by yourself. You will get attacked by someone or something. So of course, Liv and Rhea beat her up, and then the next day or Wednesday, WWE comes out with like, oh, she has a fractured orbital bone, and they showed MRI, but I'm assuming those are MRI photos. And then it turns out that she actually does have a fractured orbital bone. Apparently not last Raw, but the Raw before, when she did her headbutt, she fractured her face. So she's been taking off. She wasn't on Raw this past week live. She was pulled off house shows last weekend. She's off indefinitely until her eye fixes. And it makes me think it wasn't last year. Obviously, earlier this year she was out with her arm shoulder thing, but there was an injury before that. It was like her teeth. She had to get like teeth fixed, and it was like her jaw. So it makes me worried about her head, like too many mouth head injuries.
Well, so you made a good point that I was going to ask is, in the last year, she's had that shoulder, collarbone, whatever injury now. And again, you're mentioning a number of different things. I guess, how injury prone is really? We were talking about CM Punk. And it's like, I'm worried that, again, she's going to be out. Like, how long is she going to be out with this injury now, and what's next for her? Because, again, she's missing so much time. She's such a megastar. And I just feel like this last year, well, at least 6 months, has been really rough for her, and I'm very concerned on, like, again, I hope it's not a consistent thing where it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another, an ailment, because she's such a huge asset to the company and such a, again, megastar. I think she's one of the top 3 or 4 stars in the company. I just want to see her on TV consistently, and I'm worried that she's just a little too...
I don't think injury prone's the word. Again, like the spot that hurt her arm in that backstage thing after Mania, like that, everyone said that was just like a freak thing that like wasn't like they did something unsafe. And again, even like her headbutt, I don't think that she's doing unsafe things to get injured.
Right, but I don't think Punk was doing...
No, him and Adam Cole, but like when he jumped to the stands and broke his shin or messed up his shin,
fair.
And then when Cole stupidly jumped off the thing and has to get a cadaver.
Cole, I agree. Adam Cole, I agree. But Punk, I guess
No,
Punk,
well, I'm saying with the Punk's CM Punk, when his issues in AEW was when he jumped into the crowd and messed up his foot.
True.
And again, when he got injured from the Future Shock, again, it's just how many times does Drew McIntyre do it? Wrestling's dangerous. Look what happened to Chris Bey. Praise to Chris Bray, like emergency neck surgery after Ace Austin was like this. We've done that 100. Like he's done that so many times when he got injured, and it's like emergency neck surgery. Like this was not ballet, kids. But I wouldn't say injury prone. I think that's too much.
All right, fair enough.
But again, tell me I'm wrong down below.
Fair enough. Yeah. What do you all think? Are you worried that she's been kind of oft injured lately? And again, sometimes it's just some people just get the injury bug, and I hope it's not the case. I want to say that and reiterate that. I hope that's not the case.
But you also had brought up, if you remember back in the 90s when The Undertaker fractured his orbital bone and he came out with his Phantom of the Opera mask for however long. And then it's like, oh yeah, remember how unsafe and Vince McMahon didn't give a shit if you were injured or not? Put a hockey mask on and go out there. Well, at least they're taking time. So maybe her just taking maybe a month or 6 weeks off the road would be like letting her heal faster than like you don't want her flying out to Saudi Arabia and being like a pressure like the airplane. Like maybe stay home for a month and you'll be better. And then you can come and cut promos and again or have her off TV, come back to a Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, beat Liv at Mania.
Or she could wear the mask like they give Cody Rhodes gave his mask to Gigi Dolan or one of them. On NXT.
No, JCG.
Yes, so she could wear the mask like that. I always liked that Phantom of the Opera Cody Rhodes character, but I digress. Anyway, Nikki, what else you got for us?
Oh, and then this they also just announced. I'm going to touch on this briefly if I can talk. So they announced this new program that they're calling ID, like an independent development program, like their NIL thing that takes college kids that necessarily don't have the wrestling background, but like an athletic background, and they're like, oh, we'll teach you how to wrestle. When this is have partnerships with wrestling school, of course, Cody Rhodes is Nightmare Factory, Black and the Brave, which is Seth Rollins, Tyler Black, whatever you want to call him, Rikishi School, Booker T's Championship Wrestling, whatever is it called? I don't know, Booker T School, but it's all kind of wrestling schools that are already affiliated, like their, owner, coach, trainer is a WWE superstar. And they can get like certain contracts, kind of get fast tracked to WWE. Again, like Joe Hendry's doing their, if you're in this development program, you can be at the PC working out. It depends on what side of the coin you're on. It's kind of, people are worried about the American indie scene. Look what NXT UK did to the UK wrestling scene. That took a while to bounce back.
Yeah, it begs the question, like, you talk about like old Monopoly type word and stuff like that. Like, is it good for the sport or for the brand, or is it bad? I mean, they're going to develop their own talent. Like, is it going to dilute other independent promotions elsewhere? Yeah, I think it will to some extent, right? But it also, to the same extent, might create more opportunities.
Yeah, to kind of play devil's avocado here, it's just like with NXT UK, they signed like the whole indie scene and kept them. Like this is like as far as like what I'm understanding is these are kids that are in the training schools already. So it's not like they're gobbling out. Again, all these guys work kind of and gals, work the indie scene, but I feel like as far as I think it's different, but I get the comparisons. Like these are, and again, it's also like it's just the opportunity, and it also doesn't diminish the collegiate scene. Like they could have this opportunity if whoever the Shawn Michaels and Chef Michaels and Triple H, if they like you, then you'll get this opportunity. And if that's not what you want to do, then that's not what you want to do. Because other indie people are saying, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, well, then don't. Like, this is also more opportunity for people. Like, if you want to, be an indie kid for forever and then come to the big league, like kind of like what we're going to get to that later, Motors and Machine Guns haven't, like, and AJ Styles did the road to get to WWE. Right. Some people take a quicker road, like Roman Reigns.
Or maybe they take the Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
No,
Well,
no,
again, if you're the Nightmare Factory.
Yeah, with the Nightmare Factory. Take
again, it's like it's worked.
I have the sound effect.
I guess because with the NIL program, you have people like Tiffy Stratz who, took to the business so well and is like, Miss Money in the Bank is, on Maine, has a great look, great personality, like just took to this business, like her moonsault's gorgeous, like. I don't know, but then you have other people that came through that program that are not even on NXT that already got released.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's you have to have that talent.
I think it'll expand opportunity for sure, and it'll create opportunity for more wrestlers in those indie promotions that maybe don't get governed by these schools, and hopefully there's more schools. So I don't know. We'll see. What do you all think? Let us know in the comments below. Do you like this? Do you think it's good for wrestling in general? For WWE to have more talent, more of an outreach, or is it bad because less competition, so to speak? I don't know. It'd be really interesting to see. But Nikki, we move on up, and that's why we don't have nice things.
Well, I sound low, and I'm trying to fix it, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
can't hear me turn off your volume, kids. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to use my stage voice. You
got to use your stage voice, but regardless, this is a very special episode for us, as in a few short days, it is our anniversary. So we are calling this our Nik-A-Versary special. But we are talking about some of our favorite memories. Nikki and I were brought together through professional wrestling. One of our many, we were brought together through apps, but one of their many hobbies that brought us together was professional wrestling, which now has led eventually to this great podcast. So, Nikki, I put together a little, I love doing my montages.
I know, I haven't seen this yet.
So it could be bad. It could go over really well, or it could be really bad. But this has been a fun little ride along the way. Our friend John Legend, but not the song you think, Nikki.
All of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. 'Cause I give you all of me.
Oh boy.
So, Nikki, I love you. I love much more, but I love professional wrestling.
I know. Well,
so we're talking about our memories together. Nikki and I have been to a number of events, a number of things along the way in our journey through life together.
Yeah.
So, Nikki, what stands out to you?
Well, I guess to backtrack to kids who maybe don't know or didn't watch my birthday extravaganza special, like Nick and I got engaged on the Chris Jericho Part 2 in January of 2020, and then the world fell apart. We got married November 5th, 2021. That's why it's kind of our anniversary special. It's November. Our 3-year anniversary is on Tuesday. And also kind of like the first guy back in the dating scene that didn't think it was weird that I loved wrestling. And I was like, it's basically like my dog, my cat, and wrestling. Like, if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. So Nick came along with all the craziness, but the first, I guess, memory is like we went back in 2019 when it was back-to-back New York shows. It was NXT on that Saturday. It was the first NXT New York. Then we did the New Japan ROH show on that Sunday. The NXT show, again, he's showing us the 2 out of 3 falls. There's our beers in the Barclays Center, which is such a beautiful arena. It just sucks to get to Brooklyn. But we got to our section, and next to us was this British grandma and her grandson, who had to have been between 8 and 10. And then we found out their whole life story, that his dad and his very young girlfriend were sitting like in the section like above us, and he was so excited and so cute. And I guess he had a choice of who got to sit there with him, and he picked his grandma. And he like, I don't know, you could probably say it better than me, but he was like, "That's all right, me and you." And he like
Yeah.
he like hugged her, and I was like, oh my god, they're sweet little babies, and they were just like so sweet to talk to. But again, incredible show.
Yeah, it was.
Like I'm just thinking you showed up that, but it was like when it was Walter was still Walter versus Pete Dunne. Peter Dunne, that was such an incredible match. I'm thinking I'm pretty sure that's when he won the belt.
Yeah, Walter won the belt, and it was just like it was a power. One of his Walter dives, his Dracula splashes off the top rope after I think a powerbomb. I can't remember if it was an avalanche powerbomb or if he just gave him a powerbomb because I was a little tipsy at that point in time. But yes, I remember that. Riddle was on the show. It was Ricochet. Aleister Black was also on that show, and I loved Aleister Black. I think that's when I fell in love with Aleister Black's character.
Seeing his entrance live was so cool.
Yeah, and just everything that he brought as a character.
Yeah, I do miss him.
That was the NXT, like a lot of the prime NXT, talent. And this match was just unbelievable. The crowd, because Gargano basically never beat Cole, and the crowd was just so hot all night. An NXT crowd, like this is prime NXT crowd where the crowd was just so just again, it was just going all night long. And at the end of the night, no one expected Gargano to win, and Gargano ends up on top. And I think Ciampa comes up and gives him a hug at the end of the night, because this was, I think, after Ciampa was having that neck issue and all that stuff.
They've gone together and fell apart so many times on each other. Like I don't remember, but and again, it's a great arena. It was a great card. It was again the first one because it was like Brooklyn 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it was New York. Again, I miss the takeover monikers, but I guess that's old and done with. But again, I think we say that it's all right, me and you, to each other all the time.
It's a nice little inside joke that now we get to share with all of our friends.
Opposed quickly, because I don't know, but quickly at the New Japan show, we are in a section with actually people that we kind of met online at NXT, and then we're there on one side, and this very incredibly, very loud, obnoxious New Yorker guy is sitting next to me with his even more obnoxious, more New Yorker father. And it is the ladder match between Taven, Jay Lethal, and name redacted because we're not allowed to talk about him anymore. But it was a ladder match, and he whoever, I guess it was Jay Lethal, was climbing up, and he's like, oh, basically oh, the good guy has to be in peril because then he has to climb up the ladder. And I was like, really, that's how wrestling works? Like you're trying to talk to me about like baby faces and heels? Like I know I'm a girl on a wrestling show, but dude, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sorry, but like this is why we have a podcast. And I was like, I got really loud with him. I was like, oh yeah, that's how wrestling works. And then I left and got us more beers. And didn't he say something to you?
Yes, he was worried that he offended you or that you were going to probably claw his face off. And I basically said, yeah, that's how she is with wrestling, and that's probably how we left it. And a very awkward rest of the night, but thanks for that.
There was only 2 matches. There was only a couple more because he was talking all night.
I know.
I mean, there was a ladder match, and then it was
that, and he was talking about this train ride home.
Oh, his father was just like, we gotta catch that train. But no, because main event was Jay White versus Okada.
Yeah, it was main event Jay White. See what I did there?
But that's the weird show that Enzo and now Big Bill tried to crash, and people thought it was all the craziness that when Bret Hart got attacked on when they're inducting the Hart Foundation, as him and Natty, that crazy guy, and then FTR beat them up. So it was crazy times. I remember it was whatever ROH does their crazy Royal Rumble Battle Royal asks, and the guy, because Cheeseburger came out, and you're like, his name's Cheeseburger, and I was like, yeah, welcome to ROH.
Yeah. But for me, just to keep it along this pattern,
supposed to tell it. Sorry.
For me, you actually kind of touched on it already. You stole a little bit of my thunder. For me, it was, oh gosh, I'm going way too far. This is what happened when they messed their things up.
I know, this is what happens when I tell stories that
there we go. Jericho Cruise for us was just absolutely magical. We got engaged on the Jericho Cruise. To me, it was a crazy once in a lifetime experience. Nikki had never been on a cruise before. And
our first vacation together, really. I'm sorry to cut you off. This is the first time we ever went away together.
Yeah, it was our first vacation together, pre-pandemic. All the bells and whistles that come with a cruise, but a themed cruise, which was interesting with the ring and everything else. You know, we got to meet. Looking back on it, it was just a like. I don't want to say murder's rather better. Just a Hall of Fame list of talent: Cody Rhodes, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. Oh my gosh, John Moxley. So like future world champions. It was just absolutely incredible. You know, obviously Jericho, which I couldn't find the picture of. I was trying to find.
Oh no, because I have that one.
Yeah, and
you had to go to my Facebook page because
I did it, but I couldn't.
You had to like they wouldn't like it was not the one that was done on your phone. They did.
Congratulations, thanks, Eric Robinson. Welcome to the party.
So all the other photos was like you gave the person your phone and like you got like 2 pictures, but we got 4 because it was the 2 of us. Like basically 2 photos per person. But the Jericho one, like they took it and then they gave you a code and you had to go into the code to get the photo. So basically like they wanted you to pay for it, but I took a screenshot on it. So that's why you have to go if you went to my I have to go to my Facebook.
But yes, so it was just a great overall experience to again see wrestling up close. We were 10 feet from the ring, set kind of a precedent for a lot of what our experiences ended up being.
Hangman and Omega won the tag belts on the cruise.
Yeah, and that was where the Jericho cruise, the second Jericho cruise, which is where Nikki and I did get engaged. 2020, which is where the oh my gosh, Judas, where the crowd started singing Judas. So that was the crowd of Judas effect. Eventually, so that was off of that cruise. So it was a really fun experience. We got to meet Jake, all-time bucket list person, Jake the Snake Roberts. It was a tremendous experience where he was one of the 2 people I think in the whole cruise that we told we got engaged because Nikki didn't want to make a big deal about it. I just think she's going to make a big deal about it. But it was a nice time. He just basically comes and he bends down over to me and he says, "You give her all the love she'll ever need."
He's like, "You love her. You give her all the love he literally like because people don't mix in your wheelchair and he literally got in there like worried about his knees and his hips. I think that's he got the hip done, but whatever. But he gets like literally on his knees to talk like face to face with Nick. But besides, like, my mom, your brother, and my maid of honor, he's, like, the first, like, family person we told. And he was just, like grabbed you, basically. And, fun fact, because I don't know what happened. Again, planning a wedding is stressful. But when I went to print out a bunch of photos to put around, like, for cocktail hour and our wedding, nothing printed out correctly but this photo. So this photo is framed in our house. And it was on our, you go to the wedding, you have to get your card of where your table's at. So if for people like our friends who are wrestling fans, I hope they thought it was funny. But like our aunts and uncles who probably don't remember.
Thought he was a cousin or an uncle.
Or like a grandpa. Literally, there's 2 framed photos at our wedding, and this was one of them.
Jake the Grandpa Roberts.
Like again, if you didn't know, like, or like her coworkers that came, like they wouldn't know who, like, whatever. So
yeah, it's funny.
We love you.
I know it was a great experience, and now we're glad that Jake's back in the fold in AEW for sure. So
like I like to see it with Roosh more. Again, I love I really early days of him and Lance Archer. Like I was in like, what is this? Like I'm here for it. Just give me Jake. I love Jake the Snake so much.
Exactly. So we're gonna get to AEW shortly, but first, Nikki, let's start with SmackDown from last week because they taped 2 different things. Well, you're right. We have new WWE Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. Let's take you through how we got there. Little Detroit themed. Detroit Rock City.
Can I just say that I called this last episode because you were like, do they win the tag belts right away? And I'm like, yeah, they do. And literally, an hour later, they won them? Mama called it. Again, they had an amazing match. It was a fun match with... with DIY. I loved Corey on commentary saying how, how much of a grind they went through, how him and Chili used to live together, how they used to make fun of Johnny Gargano together, like, the history, and then like talk about how like Johnny looked up to them, like looked up to them, and it's like, oh, is Ciampa getting jealous? And then sowing the seeds. I think Ciampa is going to turn on him for the bazillionth time. But again,
just on Maine.
Well, yeah, it'll be the first time he turns him on Maine, but
yeah. So technically, they view it like a different.
NXT kids from between 2018 and 2020, 2021. We remember.
So
Patrick Farr remembers.
So the match itself was a little bit like, I want to see more from like DI. Like it should have been a pay-per-view match. I want to see more. No, I did. I liked it, but like it should have been on a pay-per-view. Like it was good. It felt a little diminished when what happens next. So the Guns challenged or faced DIY for the number one contendership. Great, solid match, right? Real good match. End up coming out on top and earn their title shot against the Bloodline. The Bloodline then comes out and calls their shots. Like, if you want the shot now, you can have it. And goats them into the shot. So like it's a very TNA way of booking them, which is fine because they're a TNA tag team. Like, hey, you went through all these eliminator, all these tournaments to get to where you are, and it gives them as a tag team instant credibility. I don't know. I felt he was so fast. You could have built them up really, really, really well. It's such a quick rise, but maybe because I don't know if it's because of their age, like you're going to put the belts on and try and tie a rocket to them real quickly so that it accelerates the tag division because they'll be champs for a little bit and then they move to a different feud and they can elevate other people. Maybe, I don't know. It felt so fast that they won the belts.
Because after we wrapped, I went upstairs and watched it in real time. I thought I was very much into it, and I loved how like Nick Aldis was like, no, and there's like, no, like we'll do, and like I don't know, I don't feel like they were necessarily goated. I just feel like I think like Bloodline thought that they can bully them and push them around, and then it's just like, come find out, mess around. Well, it's like I'm not cool enough for the cool kids.
F around and find out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I told you, I think I'm like spinning. That they're gonna come in, put the belts on them, rebuild this division that is so incredibly lacking. Like not in tag teams necessarily, but like time on TV, and build the division around them. Have I think DIY like Johnny Gargano chasing a belt as a babyface, chef's kiss. Like have Street Profits go chase them. Like I think it would just be like a fun like build this back up, give them TV time, and I'm hoping at Survivor Series again they can defend on pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you want to call it. But I just think this is like a foundation. We're down to Bloodline. You had this fun little run.
So you're taking the Bloodline out of the fold.
You're done. You got the 6-man tag. You got War Games. You got some time. They can go away, get some other people on TV, especially in January when they're going to 3 hours on SmackDown. You can dedicate some time to these belts, and that's what I want to see. And I think putting them on machine guns, that's just like the springboard. And I'm not worried about their age; they look incredible.
No, me either. I was just worried. I mean, again, you never know. Like AJ,
everyone's like,
Jinx, you owe me a Coke. But like, yeah, like you could still build them. I'm not worried as much, but I just feel like it was so fast, which leads me to believe, and we're not going to really touch on it that much with War Raiders on Raw in our Raw portion of this, obtaining the number one contendership. I think they're resetting both titles, and War Raiders going to win it too.
I would love that.
But let us know. How do you feel about the Guns winning the titles? Do you feel like it was too soon? Do you like it? Are you ready for it? You ready for the reset?
I did and haha to Nick. I think it's a great idea. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep harping on you. I'm like, tell you, happy anniversary. I know you love doing that. I don't know. Well, there is one thing, however, in this whole storyline alongside the Guns winning the tag team titles, right? That we forgot,
and along the way. And the Guns did get a little bit of help.
I get by a little help, my friend.
So
again, they did get the help, but it wasn't like I hate when like they do the thing on the outside, then roll them in and they get a pin. At least they hit their finisher, and I feel like the finisher looks better than the first time we saw it. Because 2 SmackDowns ago, everyone was like, "Whoa, how it looked."
Well, yeah, no, I think what happened is Solo talked a lot. He acted like he had something to say, but none came out. Just a bunch of gibberish. And he acted.
Toad, I love this song so much.
You wanted Eminem.
I did.
You get Eminem.
Thank you, babe.
Detroit the.
All of the reason that Dre ain't been getting no sleep, so fuck y'all, all of y'all. If y'all don't like me, blow me. Y'all gon' keep fucking around with me and turn me back to the old me. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. Nowadays everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. It's a bunch of gibberish and motherfuckers act like they forgot about Dre. So when do you say to somebody you hate?
You forgot about Jay.
I love that song so much.
I know.
The first
That's why I
3
put it in.
Eminem albums, no front.
Steven said
It is
romantic.
You know us.
What's up, Jam? I'm calling you Jam. Welcome in. Welcome to the club. So yes. So they forgot about Jay, the missing piece in all of this. Gets his revenge, costing the Bloodline the tag team titles.
I loved that because sometimes I think under Vince McMahon's era, they're like, "Who is this masked man? Oh my god, it can't be!" And then they're just like, Cole was like, "I know who that is. Look at his eye. You know who that is." And I was like, "Thank you. Let's not pretend we don't know it's Jay and Jimmy coming out. Please, and thank you." So I love that Cole did that because of course he's gonna come out. Like, you cost me my stuff, I'm gonna cost you your stuff. Eye for an eye, baby.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense. They pulled him back into this whole terrible storyline for him because he wants to be off on his own. So how do you feel about the Usos reunited? Do you like it? Did you want to see, one of the best tag teams to ever do it come back together? Or do you want to see Jay kind of steer clear of this and be his own man? Because I think there was a path in all of this where you could have kept him clear of this and made him still main event Jey Uso without a less than month-long intercontinental title reign.
I agree. Like, I think this has been a fun little experiment. I did very much like Jay on his own. I did like main event. I did like him, the new IC belt. Is Braun, I don't remember. Have we seen Braun with the belt? Is he wearing the blue belt?
Yes. Yeah, Braun got the blue belt.
Okay. So I love that he brought the blue into the new IC belt. Again, it's a fun little experiment. He went off like, it kind of feels like it's like the Amish people and they're doing like Rumspringa, and he got to go out and be like crazy.
Rumspringa.
He went out and did this crazy thing on his own, and they're like, "All right, stop being crazy. Come back to the family. You're come back." And that's not the thing. Or like if they tie him up, like try to get out, they pull me back in. Like there was no way that they were going to do War Games without Jay. And that's what, like I said to you last week, like they had to you had to put the belt on him, you had to take it away because he wanted to do something on his own. He did the thing on his own. The family took it away from him, so now he has to go fight that part of the family. Like, I got my dream came true, singles belt, and you made me lose it. So now I have to go after you.
Now again, I didn't want anything to do with it, but now you pulled it back in. So I do have a question about, and this may be a little bit later for our predictions part of this, but I guess because the Usos basically take out the whole Bloodline 2.0 on Raw. So like, did the Bloodline look too weak against the Usos on Raw? Like, it's for them. Jacob has been taking out everybody like crazy, including Jay, and now because the Usos are back together, like, okay, double super kicks, I get it. They're good as a team. You want to see them hit all the hits, but I don't know. I a 4-on-2, and now it's going to be a 3-on-3. They looked very weak on Raw.
Oh, we have to wait to predictions. I got a solution.
Fair enough, Nikki. So, as we continue to move along on Monday Night Raw, this is basically during Raw, the other takeaway is that we did see the Wyatt Six abduct the Miz. And I couldn't get a good picture of it, so this is from last week.
Which I still haven't seen it.
So basically, all night, Miz earlier in the night goes up to R-Truth and gives him a fake apology. You know, saying that, I'm so sorry, this is family. Like, he knows what the gimmick is for the Wyatts. And ultimately, he, R-Truth, Truth sees through all the lies, hits him. He's like, good luck, you're gonna die, and basically moves on. So he's about to leave, or he's talking to Pierce later in the night, and he says, you got to get me some security because I have the Wyatts. I also have the Final Testament. And then sure enough, the Final Testament shows up, and Karrion Kross basically tells him that he's SOL and he's got a plan. You need to find Bo Dallas and get him right, like get him with us. We have to figure out why he's messing with all our crap. So I don't know. Nikki's going nuts.
Steven! I was agreeing this time, but Steven got me.
Yeah, okay. So regardless, so basically, he's looking for Bo Dallas all night. And we actually think it's going to happen during Raw. And this is kind of in the vein of the last couple of PLEs have happened. Things have happened offline, like Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes. And now the Miz is searching. He finds Kofi Kingston or Woods or both of them, and basically asks, do you see Bo Dallas? No, he's looking for him. Walks by a bus. Sure enough, bus door opens. Mercy the Buzzard, which is Dexter Lumis, just like he's been doing for years against the Miz, pulls him, scraps him up, and abducts him. So the Wyatt Six abduct the Miz. So what my question is what's next in this storyline for the Miz and the Wyatt Six? Because now you presume, the Wyatts usually brainwash people. Like, that's been the whole gimmick of the Wyatts.
Like, I don't want the Miz joining the Wyatts. Is that what
Me either.
Is that what you're insinuating?
I'm just saying, what do you see as next? Because of the Wyatts, I mean, it's normally a heelish thing to abduct somebody, but like now they're doing the whole brainwashing gimmick. So, like,
who do they brainwash?
That's usually why they abduct people. Is like you abduct them to get them alone so you can talk to them and convince them of their wrongdoings. So, like, will this affect Miz in this whole? He's not a tweener. He really is a heel, but like, could this be like one of those things where it's just like, we talk him off a ledge
because now all of a sudden, like, him and Karrion Kross are best friends. That's why, like, why is his name eluding me? Paul Ellering, there you go, sacrificed himself to save the Miz. Like, are they going to use him as a pawn against Karrion and be like, hey, I got your boy? Something, I don't know, something. Because, like, what is it? Again, you also can have people because you want to gain something. Like, that's why they're like, what could they gain by kidnapping the Miz?
Well, if you remember, now I didn't look back on it, but because I was trying to find this clip to get a good shot for the show, and the Miz was abducted by Bray Wyatt years ago and the Wyatt family, and I wonder if they're going to do some sort of callback to that, where he was tied up, and I think again, he always ties him up, and basically Bray used to always
they just like invaded his house. It was like they put Lily, it was either Lily or Abby, like the doll in the baby's crib in the Miz's house. I don't remember. What is this, 20?
Yeah, it might have been the same one. Again, it's all blending. I didn't get time to deeply research it, but I'm curious to see if there's going to be mind games that are going to happen now with the Miz and the Wyatt Six.
At least there is the backstory. Obviously, Bo Dallas was B team, and then he did have the feud with Wyatt, with Bray. Then he did have that stuff with Dexter Lumis. So it's all, and then he
has a lot of interaction with a lot of the Wyatt's family members, or Wyatt Six members. So it'll be interesting to see. What do you all think? Where do you want this to go? Do you want to see the Miz stay heel, be feud with Bo, Uncle Howdy? Do you want them to move on? Maybe he turns face and goes back with R-Truth because of the interaction with the Wyatts. It'd be interesting to see. We want to hear from all you, though. As we wrap up, Monday Night Raw is pretty, like, we're going to bleed all this into our predictions.
Yeah, so like things we're kind of just talking about things that are not going to be really, besides the bloodline stuff that isn't going to be talked about or addressed at Crown Jewel.
Exactly. So we move along to AEW Dynamite Wednesday night, where the big debut, the big reveal, Nikki, Bobby Lashley,
I know. I had
the Hurt Syndicate.
I had it. Well, he said we're back in business. I don't know. I had to wake you up. I was like, Bobby Lashley's coming out. I don't know.
Which I called earlier.
Yeah, which we knew what was coming because they said they thought he was going to debut at Wrestle Dream. But they didn't want, all the Washington kids to get beat up on one pay-per-view. So they delayed them. So we kind of felt like it was, especially it was Swerve versus Shelton Benjamin. And then Bobby comes out. And like I think it's gonna be like it's like a fun feud, but like I just wish I get it, but I want Swerve to be champion again. I love Swerve.
I know you're a big swerver. Swerver, what are they called? I don't know. That's what I'm calling them, swervers.
I don't know, and again, Bobby Lashley's great in the ring. Shelton Benjamin's great in the ring. Like they weren't getting utilized. Like Bobby kind of said in interviews that like regime changed and he wasn't put on TV anymore.
Yeah, and I'm still shocked at how over he is as a champion. Like or just in general, like he was so over for the last couple of years, and I was like, oh man, like. I know in TNA he started getting like really, really over more than he was, I thought, in WWE in his first go of it. And then he comes back and he becomes world champion, has that run. I think he only had like one match with Brock Lesnar that would have been another nice, like I think he still has a lot left, a lot of gas left in the tank. So I guess, in terms of his debut, probably what I expected. I could see Lashley Swerve as a main event caliber match. That has to be booked at a good pay-per-view for AEW. It could be a money match because that's the main event guy. So I guess now the question is, Tony does this all the time. He signs a lot of main event level talent. So what's the potential now for Bobby Lashley in AEW? Is he a needle mover for the company to be, one of those faces of the company to carry like a world champion that can carry it? Like, do you see him as that, or is he just going to be another hell of a hand, great wrestler that they sign?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the latter. Again, with the storylines that they're telling, he's not taking the belt off Moxley. I don't think they're going to put him in a program with Jack Perry. Bobby Lashley Okada? Like, okay, but that's not something that's on your bingo cards for 2024 kids. I don't know. I don't know if I care enough. And maybe because I wasn't watching early Bobby Lashley days or TNA Bobby, but just like, post, when did he come back? 2017 to WWE? When he went, it was like that terrible feud with Sami Zayn and Max Caster was like his, sister. Like that whole terrible thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't he's in incredible shape, and I think he does incredible things in the ring. Is it really my cup of tea? I don't think so. Am I gonna watch him in Swerve? Absolutely, because I love Swerve, but I don't know. To me, he doesn't move my needles.
Touche. Well put. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he could be a world champion there and could carry some shows, but it will be a while. And again.
There's too many other people that have been there. Like, I'd rather see the belt on Malachi Black first. I'd rather see it on, like, anybody. Back on MJF, back on Swerve.
True. No, fair point. So
they put up the belt on. Well, Kenny, rumors circulating that Kenny could be back in 2025.
I think it'll be, well, who knows when I'm back. But we'll see. We want to hear from all of you. What do you think the ceiling is for Bobby Lashley, or is he just another name in this company? So we move along. The other takeaway from Dynamite, we have new champions.
Tag team champions.
New champions. Yeah. They are champions.
They are champions.
Private Party win the AEW World Tag Team titles on Dynamite. Nikki, any thoughts on their 5 years in the making, according to Tony Khan?
So, well, first of all, I really do. I know it hasn't been their theme song for a while, but their original.
This is a private
This is a
party.
private party.
I was actually thinking.
I missed that song. But I wish they wanted at Wrestle Dream, to be honest, because it was that whole thing of like, yeah, and even like what you said before, it's like, oh, you've been here for like there was that upset at the first episode of Dynamite that they beat the Bucks, and they're like, oh my god, are they gonna put like this young tag team over? And they're like, you haven't done shit since, and it's like, ooh,
It's not gonna work for me, brother.
it's not gonna work for me, brother. But it's like, oh, like these are supposed to be like your young up and coming people, and like they made them look like they did this amazing promo package for them, and then they lost, and it's like, oh, and now it has to be the thing. It's like, well, we're gonna break up, and then if we're gonna break up if we don't win, and then Mark Quinn was like, so what? And then I feel bad because it's just like Mark Quinn was out injured for over a year, and that's when I would say Cassie was running around with Matt Hardy, and they called him Brother Say and all that stuff. I think people think that is it kind of like Street Profits that like Isaiah's kind of like the Montez, and then Mark Quinn's kind of like Dawkins.
To some extent, I just think that I don't know. Maybe I don't see them as much or whatever it is. I just don't find them as good anywhere near as good. Yeah, I don't find them as good. I know they're good in the ring. I don't find them as good as the Street Profits are.
Oh, like again, Montez is very even Dawkins has turned a lot since they got on me. I don't know. Again, it's hard because you saw them so early days, and then Mark Quinn was injured, was out. I think over a year, and then seeing them back together. I don't know. I think they're great. Like I love the silly string. I like the gin and juice. I love that move. Again, I think they deserve to be champions like a while ago. And I'm worried is this too little, too late sort of deal.
Yeah,
I'm worried that they're going to be transitional champions. A lot of people said that they wanted the Outrunners to take the belts off the Bucks, and again, apparently the Bucks are like they're on hiatus for a while, which is like fine. I don't need to see.
Yeah, it's just the whole interaction with the storyline where they basically lost, shook their hands because the Bucks were heels, and now we're like, all right, shook your hands, and then like ran away.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Moxley storyline, which we'll touch upon more in future shows, probably in a couple of weeks when we come back. We'll have a lot more updates on that.
Because it is kind of announced that I am wearing my best friend's shirt that it's going to be OC versus Mox for the belt at Full Gear. So we'll do that in the end of November. We'll kind of talk more about like Moxie's rise and OC, you know, now being the leader. But I don't know. I want them again. I feel like I just want to root for AEW, and it's very hard some weeks to root for AEW. But I do like Private Party. I hope this again breathing some life back into the tag team division, because again, I was just Young Bucks so much, and as much as I loved FTR, if I have to see one more FTR Bucks match, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, let's get fresh people in there. Like, have Top Flight chase the belt. Like, get the young guys in there. Just do something. I'm ready for something different and something fresh.
Nikki just wants something new. What do you all want? Let us know in the chat. What do you want from the AEW tag division? Were you happy seeing Private Party win belts? Do you think it's too little, too late? Who knows? As we wrap up our AEW portion of this segment. And Nikki, we covered it all except for the big one. You know what we're getting to. What everyone came for. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, whatever that translates to you locally, Crown Jewel will air from Saudi Arabia? Wherever is Riyadh. Riyadh, is that how you say it? Riyadh. Saudi Arabia. And we are here to predict what's going to happen on that card. And we want to hear from all of you. So let's give you a little bit of a preview of what we're going to see and what we expect to see tomorrow.
It's a dangerous love.
Make sure you hit the old like and subscribe, especially if you're watching Crown Jewel tomorrow or if you want to predict it. So, Nikki, we open with the men's Crown Jewel Championship, I guess we're calling it. Gunther, the World Heavyweight Champion, challenges Cody Rhodes, the WWE Undisputed Champion. Nikki, what are your thoughts on this match?
Gunther, the ring general. I don't think it's going to be clean. I think there's potential for interference on both sides of the coin. But I think you let Gunther walk out of here. Again, I think this might be my prediction for later. Like, he won King of the Ring that launched him to get this belt. I think Saudi Arabia might be his place, and he wins again.
It's a fair point. So before I give you my prediction, I would say, first off, who needs the victory more?
Well, it's hard. You're the championship. You're the leader of both brands. Like, I really don't like champion versus champion matches.
Because that's how I make my prediction. That's what I think is who needs to win more, who can suffer a loss and not be as affected by it. So to me, I think the wins needed more, to your point, that Gunther's gimmick is that he's the ring general. And I agree with you. I think Gunther is going to take it. I do feel there is going to be some sort of nefarious activity. Like, do we see Kevin Owens or Randy Orton interfere in this match? Because there's seeds I feel like have been planted for both.
Again, I think someone's coming out. Both. People are yelling Goldberg is going to come out and beat up Gunther. I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe. No, I think someone's going to, and I think that's the only, unfortunately, this needs a dusty finish. Shout out to Papa Rhodes.
Well, that's the thing with both of these Crown Jewel Championship matches is there's so much overlap within the story. Yeah, like both champions have like multiple people that can go after them. So to me, yeah, I think more likely Kevin Owens, but it would be kind of like a little bit of red herring if you start to see Randy Orton. Because again, I said this on the show before, I could see a triple threat Survivor Series for the WWE Undisputed Championship, which is seeing Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton together.
I think the match order will really dictate who's going up, because I think KO Randy that match will have to be before this.
Yeah. No, the order is definitely indicative of what ends up happening. So ultimately, Nikki and I do agree. We both have Gunther getting over in this match. So we move along to what is actually, there's always like one, well, now there's 7 matches, but usually on the 5-match PLEs, there's always one match that's the grudge match, and this is it. Seth Rollins, your boy, and I refuse to call him Big Bronson Reed.
Well, Seth calls him Big Boy.
So
I'll make you famous, Big Boy.
So dumb. But so in this match, a lot of destructions happen, and it's crazy that when you look at it overall, like, I feel like there's almost as much, if not more, destruction in this than there was in the Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed monsters, like last Monster Standing stuff. It's so crazy. Again, I'm maybe call me old school, whatever, weird, but like, it's so crazy to see Seth Rollins. I guess the David Goliath thing, but Seth Rollins is doing all this destruction almost more than Braun Strowman did, and I feel kind of bad for Braun Strowman on that. But to me, like,
what?
No, I felt like
Seth and when did
I felt like Seth got more offense on Bronson Reed.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said that Strowman and Seth were fighting. I was like,
No. Sorry.
Sorry. I misunderstood.
I just felt like Seth has gotten way more offense in, and I know Seth's a better wrestler, bigger star, whatever, but like, I don't know. It was weird. Like this match to me, like you had all this destruction that's been happening in the previous feud with the two monsters, the last monster standing. Now you have like this. So like you have to do some crazy bump, crazy spot here. Whether it's like a tsunami through some other like crazy two tables or something that he loses, something along those lines. But to me, again, I said it earlier, who needs it more? I think Bronson Reed needs it more. You could build up a bigger star with Bronson Reed right now than a win for Seth Rollins does. But Nikki, what are your thoughts on this match and who you got?
I agree with you that Bronson needs this. This is one of the harder ones I think to pick for me, but of course, I'm going my boy Seth Rollins, because he hasn't won. Like he lost the belt. Well, he lost Mania 1, lost at Mania 2, then was out. Then he hasn't had a singles match since Money in the Bank. Then he was the guest referee. I guess I like having the singles match. I'm just worried about Seth Rollins. I'm worried about how good he is to actually come back. I feel like for a while it was always like, yeah, Seth can take a loss, Seth can take a loss, Seth can take a loss, and now I feel like, okay, maybe this is too many losses. And then when he get over and this leads to something else, like another match of Survivor Series, I don't know, but I'm going with my boy.
I know you pick with your heart too much.
I do every time. Fastest thought or who I love more. We'll get to another one that's
real shocker.
With my heart.
Nikki picked Seth Rollins. So we disagree as per usual.
Yeah, we're likely to that.
Moving along to another rivalry match, which again, I think this was kind of thrown on. But Randy Orton, Kevin Owens in what's been kind of brooding, but building up. I guess my question is it the end of their feud, or is this going to keep going?
I think I think it's going to involve Cody. I think this match has gone. I think this match is on the card because they're going to interfere in the Cody match. And I think they need to give like a reason for them to be in Saudi Arabia. So I think this match will go on. I think with everything going on with KO, that like he's not supposed to be there, he's suspended, and they're protecting Randy Orton from KO. Like KO has to win. He's also someone that for a long time you can take a pin, take a loss, and it's like, all right, now he needs to win something.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think again, I go back to my theory of who needs it more, and KO has been getting the shit end of the stick in here. So you and I tend to agree on this side of things. Just Ed said they booked this match to give KO and Randy the Sodomania paycheck.
Probably. That's also probably a reason.
Yeah, I mean,
that you could honestly probably say about like Seth and Reed.
Yeah, no, you can say that about a lot of people. I feel like on this match and a lot of people on the AEW card.
Yep.
But ultimately, we do agree.
Yep.
Who do you all got in this match? Do you think KO? Do you think Randy Orton? Do you disagree with the club? Do you go against the club? But moving along, it's been a marathon, not a sprint, for the United States title to get there. And LA Knight was a referee on SmackDown about a week ago.
Yeah, it was last week, yeah.
Yeah, about a week ago. You can say that's about a week. And ultimately, because there's actions leading to a triple threat match which we all saw coming. Even with this best of 7, we're like, why are they doing a best of 7? There's no title or anything going on. So we see a triple threat for the U.S. title. Could this be where LA Knight drops the belt?
No. Oh, like I said last week, I'm like, I don't care. Because it was like a best of 3 that turned into a best of 5 that turned into a best of 7, and I don't care about either one of them. Melo was so different than he was in NXT. I don't care. Andrade is back and doing this. I don't care. I love LA Knight being a ref, wearing sunglasses and his belt for the beginning of the match. Love that. Also has new. I don't know if it's red hair. I hope it's not. But he has a new belt. Like he had like the strap is different. I don't think you spend money to do a new strap. Sorry, Ed, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah, how do you not care about the WWE Speed Champion?
I don't. I'm sorry, Andrade. I'm sorry, Mr. Charlotte.
They should do a
Flair.
WWE. Did I say this already? I probably said this. WWE slow title where you have to go like at least like 10 minutes in the match.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible.
It's like an Iron Man title. LA Knight is strapped.
I think this match is on there because you're gonna have the whole Saudi Arabia crowd go, yeah. I'm sorry if I talked over your.
Nah, that's fine.
But yeah, no, LA, get out of here.
I tend to agree with you here. I don't think the belt's changing hands. LA Knight, yeah. We move along. So, Nikki, tag team titles, women's tag titles.
Oh, this is the other one that I am choosing with my part because I adore her, and we're never gonna hear her name the right way again. I'm going Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I think Chelsea puts in such the work. She is a workhorse. Her character, how she is being thrown into a dumpster before Bad Blood and being shunned at the Bad Blood Cool Kids party. Like I just like you have
company person.
I feel like you just have to reward her. I love Chelsea Green so much. And again, like Bianca and Bianca and Jade just have this belt so they can feud. Like, let's put this on a tag team.
So, okay. So then my question is, you want to put it on a tag team. Is it too soon to put it on the Meta 2? You call them Meta 2, Meta 4, whatever they are.
I call them Meta 2.
If they double up, they'll be Meta 8. And then we could say 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we meta appreciate?
Nobody? I know. You're really high on Lashley Legend, and I think she's going to be a thing. I think it's a little early to put the straps on them right now, but I could be wrong.
I get the feeling, so for this, I would love to see. I think there's one team straight up that could beat up Jade and Bianca, and I think that's Meta 2. I think that they could be built up as the perfect challengers for them straight up to beat them for the belts, if you want to do that. But if you also want to take the belts off them, this is always the easy out, is a fatal 4-way, you know,
right.
where they don't have to take the pin.
The first was a triple threat, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So again, like I think, like, would Lash Legend put in the work to take out either Bianca or Jade, and then Chelsea comes in just to throw it out the ring and like Piper holds them back?
Yeah, like that would make her look strong.
Good, but then have them chase Chelsea. I just want Chelsea with some gold for a little bit because I adore her, and I wish they like instead of having the secondary women's belt on NXT, I would love for them to have something on main because I think that belt is like made for Chelsea. But so I just want my girl to get something.
I know, you just want to give her something. So you're picking Chelsea and Piper, who I love as well. But I am sticking with the champs. I don't think they're losing it yet. Jade and Bianca retain. I think that building up Meta 2 to take the belts off them in a month or two from now is a great out and could build up another star at least in Lash Legend in the making. And I think it's a great opportunity. So, but what do you all think? Do you agree? Do you think the belts are changing hands?
Chelsea Green.
Or not? I want to hear from all of you. Who do you got winning the tag team titles? Women's tag team titles, I should say.
What?
As we move along, Nikki, we've got 2 matches left.
Yep.
And the phone lines are heating up. So if you want to call in and offer your predictions, your thoughts on WWE Crown Jewel, the phone lines are open up very shortly. The call-in link is below. You just click on that StreamYard link. It'll take you. You pipe in your name, and we can have some fun chatting wrestling about the pay-per-view, the PLE, AEW, WWE, whatever you want to talk about wrestling related. But Nikki, we move along to the women's. Oops. Oh gosh.
Oh god.
Gave it away.
Spoilies.
Spoiler alert. Paul Heyman hacked into my computer. But we take the women's crown jewel title.
Mhm.
Nia Jax, who everyone knows Nikki loves Nia.
Well, I think this is probably the third pay-per-view that I'm going with my best friend, Nia Jax. I think, again, it's kind of the same thing with Gunther. Like, she won it in Saudi Arabia. I think there's going to be shenanigans. I think it'd be crazy if Tiffy comes in and maybe catches on later.
Nikki, can you say it? Can you say it? You're going with the queen? Yes, queen, say it.
Yes, queen!
Yes, queen.
Complete 180.
I know.
Complete
it's been a
180.
journey. I think probably Steven has been on this journey with us. But again, it just makes sense. Again, with the Saudi Arabia, I think it'd be crazy if Tiffy comes out and catches on Liv. And like, as much as I love Rhea, and I'm sad that she's gone, the Liv Rhea stuff is kind of getting a little bit. I'm a little over it. And if we're not going to have that match between Dom and Rhea, I think there needs to be a reset here. Because it could be really interesting where Liv, who was even on Raw to step up to Liv? That's been
Great question. What's
Oh,
next for Liv Morgan?
like we wrote this together. I don't see any of the stuff he puts on here at all.
I know it's so
I just
great.
feel up.
But yeah, like what is next? Because if Rhea's out for an extended period of time with the orbital bone, can't say that now. Orbital injury. We're gonna, you know what I'm talking about. So that injury, the eye injury. Then yeah, who does step up and what's next? Because who could be the challenger for Liv in this whole?
Like who's? Because you got like in the real world, like it should be like Shayna Baszler. She hasn't done jack. Like same with I almost called her Deonna Purrazzo.
Zelina?
Zelina Vega has just lost on Raw.
For like a month. If it holds on, like if they're trying to patch through a month for her, like
Then, yeah, then I love Zelina Vega. Again, I really loved her and Rhea in Backlash in Puerto Rico was beautiful. But like where's your women's SmackDown? Or women's division on Raw?
yeah, I think there has to be some other like do they well no, because Alexa Bliss is supposedly gonna come back to the Wyatt 6 interact with Judgment Day, and then now maybe Nikki Cross or Alexa Bliss challenges Liv and interact. Yeah, probably be too
Really,
soon.
there's nobody.
Yeah, it's a good question. I really not sure. Steven's chiming in. Let's see. Liv wins, Nia lays her out, Rhea comes out and murks her more. Tiffany cashes in. So that was my other question. Steven's ahead of the ball. Does Tiffany Stratton cash in Money in the Bank?
I would love Tiffany to cash in on Liv. Again, with the orbital bone issue, Rhea's not flying to Saudi Arabia. Unless you're... And then they're actually filming Raw in Saudi Arabia for Monday. So there's going to be no Rhea at Saudi Arabia, at the Crown Jewel or Raw. So I guess... Or does Nia take out Liv...
For Tiffany.
Like and that that's the thing. She beats does Liv get double beats like Nia beats her, or does Liv win and then Nia beats her down and then Tiffy cashes in?
Yeah, I think there could be. Is there a way that you could make it at both belts on the line? Because or is there a weird dumb? This would be so dumb booking, but like it's probably indie booking, so everyone's gonna make fun of me. But like where she cashes in this match. But because the match is for the Crown Jewel title, she wins the Crown Jewel.
Oh, that'd be so gross.
But
no, don't put that juju in the atmosphere.
I'm just
I
saying.
feel like with Vince McMahon, that could have been a possibility, but I hope Triple H is not.
I'm just saying it's a possibility. You never know.
But I really do love Tiffy cashing in on Liv. Tiffy goes to Raw and gets to be with Kaiser.
I know. You love wrestling couples.
Couple.
We're a wrestling couple.
And this February, I wanted to, like, now we've been doing these fun things, like, talking about, like, our favorite spooky stuff. Valentine's Day, we're doing favorite couples and watching.
Yes, we're hoping. Well, I'm hoping to get wrestling couples on here for Valentine's Day. We'll do a fun little wrestling show in that way. But ultimately, Nikki and I disagree. Nikki's got Nia.
No, who would have thought?
I know. Nikki loves Nia. But I got my girl, Liv Morgan. I think, again, my mentality, you know it. who needs the win more? Now Liv needs the win. And Nia still has a storyline that's, moving forward. Although you could argue Rhea's is still going to be there. But I think Nia's is more active. So Nia needs the victory. But what do you all think?
You just said. You disagreed with me. Like, who needs to know? You didn't, unless you misspoke. You said Nia needs it.
No. I said Liv needs it more because Nia has the storyline that's more active. Like she's got Tiffany around her, Bailey around her, all the other garbage going on now with oh my gosh, what's her name? Not Chelsea Green, the other. Oh my god.
First word sounds like. Who are you talking about?
Johnny Gargano's wife.
Oh, Candice LeRae.
Yeah, like Candice LeRae. I just think she has way more around her going on.
So actually, she's the women's speed champion.
Oh yeah.
So
So
she's been kind of buddying up with Nia. But again, I kind of feel like
yeah, she's turning.
with SmackDown women's, like again, you have Bailey, you have Naomi, there's Candice LeRae, there's Indy Hartwell. Like I feel like I can rattle off more SmackDown ladies than Raw ladies.
Right. Which is why, back to my point, I think Liv needs to win because it just supplants her more as a dominant champion than anything else. So, but we're divided over this. You all let us know what you think about this match, where it's going, who you got winning, what you think's going on. As we move along, we'll read it off to our main event because we just figured Bloodline's always in the main event.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I control your mouth.
Well, no, because the StreamYard has issues lately with slides, so we had to do things differently today. But regardless, we move into the main event. Bloodline always headlines. So, Nikki, there's a lot that we could talk about here.
There is.
Do we go big, small? All right, first off, let's go with what we saw on Raw, interaction with Solo and Sami Zayn. Where does Sami Zayn factor into all of this?
You think this is a red herring? That you're like, oh my god, because that's what the Usos saw him talking to Solo. Like, oh my god, he's talking to Solo. He's against us, and I think I don't know. It's that Sami will try to save them at some point.
Yeah,
or just it's just Solo using Sami. I don't know.
Well, if you remember, a couple weeks back, to Jay, he always, Jay, he always told him there's always a place for you in my bloodline as long as you acknowledge me. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a similar situation with Sami. It's like, you're the honorary Uso, like I respect you. There's always a place for you in my bloodline. And the question is like, could that be a big heel turn for Sami? Like, he's the underdog of the underground. He is one of the biggest faces right now. Could that be a big turn for him? And could we see him turn with the bloodline? It'd be an interesting wrinkle on it. Maybe he goes with them for a little bit to turn.
Do you think talking to Solo one time is going to turn Sami?
No. I think this is a build-up. I think that was just a seed
Yeah,
planting.
but I want him on the old school bloodline when we do War Games. Sami needs to be with the old OGs.
Right. But then could he turn on them? And I don't know. There's a lot of...
I hope that he's trying to manipulate Solo, get some information, and then bring it back to Jay and be like, hey, I talked to him, I found this, blah, 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 out. I brought it back to you, Oos. I don't want to see Sami heel.
I know. He's much bigger babyface. I'm just throwing it out there, just a scorched earth policy of you never know what could happen. And let's just see the world burn a little bit and see what happens with a heel Sami Zayn turning on the bloodline, because he got screwed over a lot by the bloodline in this whole thing. Remember all the Ulafala, all the flowers, all that stuff. So you just never know. So what do you all think? Where do you want Sami? Do you want him with the OG bloodline? Would you like to see him maybe take a turn in this whole storyline and maybe be out for himself a little bit more? I don't know. It's an interesting twist on it. The other thing is, again, we're creeping in towards War Games.
War Games.
And he showed up the last PLE. Do we see The Rock make a return?
That's a lot of money to pay for The Rock to fly out. But again, it's
The
that
Rock
Saudi-
flies wherever.
It's that Saudi money. What's it gonna come out to? 1, 2, 3, 4? Well, I don't.
He's on the board of directors. He can do whatever he wants.
Again,
I almost
you
said board of
don't
ed.
know. I'm not a fan of The Rock. Care less. It's Triple H girl in the Attitude Era. I could care less. Again, I wouldn't make or break my evening if he showed up or not.
I know.
I think he needs to show up at the end of War Games because that will set up Mania. I don't know if he shows up. I don't know. I don't know.
I could see him. I could see him coming out in some. I mean, there's 4 of them. There's 4 again. Whoever it is, whether it's Camacho, I'm calling him Camacho. I don't know, or Tunga Loa, whatever he wants to be called. But there is 4 of them, so they do have the numbers advantage. But again, I said this earlier. Like on Raw, the Usos took all 4 of them out and stood their ground.
Well, when you're ready for predictions, I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Ed said, Dwayne on the board of Ed. Yes, please. You know what will get approved? Everything. At least all the football stadiums will be Under Armour sponsored. But ultimately, here again, I don't know. I just think that they were made out to be a little weak when the Usos without Roman Reigns took them out. So to me, you have the Usos take them out without Roman's help. Now it's with Roman who can take them out almost on his own. They should win, but it just looks weak. They look weak.
So, if we're getting to that portion of the evening, I'm going New Bloodline. I think we're going to see the 3rd brother from King Haku, and I think Hikuleo is going to come and help.
Ooh.
Because I think there has to be, because how I'm booking this brothers. I think there has to be, I think New has to win. Because again, they are getting beaten up. Something has to happen. I think for them to win, again, it's the numbers game. Another person has to come. And who already is in the background is Hikuleo again, Toma, whatever they're calling it.
Tala Tunga. Not to be confused
Hey,
with
I'm
Mala
calling you
Tunga.
Hikuleo, okay? It's G-O-D and Hikuleo, because that's how my brain works. But someone has to come out and has to do a thing. And I think that would be the impetus of War Games, because it's like, all right, we need to be in a cage to keep the riffraff out.
Well, see, that's a good point. However, I disagree. I think
you.
it's the opposite that leads to War Games having Talatunga's debut. I think you need to have the OG Bloodline win now so that War Games can be won by the new Bloodline, which, to your point, you sold me on this a while back. A Kane-like entrance for Talatunga Hikuleo, ripping off the cell door to help them to victory. But the only thing that worries me about Hikuleo and this whole group, if he's with Jacob and that side of the new Bloodline, is how do you have 2 enforcers? It looks awkward.
Yeah, I flip-flopped on this so many times, but I'm thinking you have 2.0 win here because they desperately need a win. Especially after losing the tag belts, everyone getting beat up. Again, like Solo taking that spear from Braun Breaker. Like, I feel like they need a win. And then also having 2.0 come OTCs coming back together and winning on a Big 4 pay-per-view. Because again, there's some people that don't like watching this show because where it's at, and it's a little gross. So I think maybe having the big heartfelt, oh my god, they're back together, they won at Survivor Series. So I'm thinking new beats old, and then at Survivor Series, old beats new. But I've gone back and forth on this.
You're
If
not...
you go back and listen to our podcast, I've been please stop. But no, I'm going 2.0 on this.
All right. Well, I disagree. I think that the OG Bloodline takes up this one. Ooh, did I do that backwards? I did that backwards.
You did that backwards.
Oh, backwards. Whoops.
Well, again, it's like, because when you talk to me about people, you say Nicole. When you talk to me, you call me Nick.
I know. It's
I think you
But
confused yourself.
I know. I confused the sides, but for this, I am
I
down.
think you secretly know I'm right, so you put.
No, I know you're wrong. I'm down with the Owens.
Get out with LPP. Yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP. Yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with LPP? Every last on me. Get out.
They're all coming back. Every last Usi. Every last effing Usi.
The oos is loose.
Which reminds me, we are also coming back. Oops. So here's our whole rundown. I can't do it like this. There we go. Here's our whole rundown of picks. Top is what we agree on. We have 4 different picks.
I know that's pretty good because I worry sometimes that, like, again, with the Seth Rollins one, I was like, I can see either way, and you picked Reed. I was like, all right, well, they got that boy.
So yeah, so we will have a new champion on tomorrow as we see our predictions. So I want to let you all know that we are back here tomorrow. There we go. I did a thing. Proud of myself. With our recap tomorrow at 6 Eastern, like our normal time. And that is our last show for 2 weeks until the following Friday. So we're going to have a lot of wrestling to cover. We normally go an hour and a half, 2 hours. It might go more with all 2 weeks of wrestling to cover, or it could go shorter if there's nothing goes on. You never know what happens. So
Keep it simple.
yeah, we will try. But that being said, Nikki, are you ready for the fun?
Yes.
The second portion.
Where are people?
Are you ready?
Oh, are you ready? I always wanted to do Disturbed. Ooh.
I have to find it. I have too many videos now. We're opening up the phone lines. So if you all want to chime in, we want to hear from all of you. The call-in link is below. It's in the description of the video. You just open up the little description. You click in the StreamYard. You put your name in. You let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about professional wrestling this week. And we open up. The phone lines are now open. This song, we're only gonna hear this song a few more episodes. So yeah, get ready. All right, phone lines are open. So, meeny, miny, mo.
Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Again, that's a weird song for kids to sing.
Oh, so
Pick that one.
I disagree.
No, that
I
one.
think it's a fun song.
No, that other one.
But
That one.
I got a good one to pick. First caller, bring him in. Say his name and he appears.
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat
Steven!
Sir, lady.
Welcome back. Regular. What are you drinking? What are you thinking, sir?
Happy Nik-A-Versary.
Yeah, well, he did the thing. He said the thing. He said the thing. He gets applause.
Yes. I came in 5 minutes after the show started. Did you cover the late breaking news?
Which late breaking news?
The releases.
No. Ooh,
Steven Scoop.
breaking news from Steven.
Breaking
Check
news
in
from
the-
about roughly 10 minutes before you guys went on, so I didn't know if you caught it and covered it.
Wait,
or
hold on,
not.
Steve. Hold that for thought for 2 seconds. Ready?
Yeah.
What's breaking news? I put a drum roll on.
Oh, okay.
I
Steven-
didn't hear a thing.
I know.
That was terrible. He's bad.
I need better sound effects.
Okay.
Anyway,
Only-
go ahead.
Only 3 for now. Baron Corbin,
Oh,
Tegan Knox, and Indy Hartwell.
Yeah. No, this all hurts my heart.
The only thing that's known, all their contracts were coming up. Baron Corbin was released immediately. Unknown if the two ladies were, or if they're staying to the end of their contract and then being let go.
Yeah, I think Ed's putting in the chat. He said the contracts weren't renewed. There's not renewing a lot of contracts.
I want Baron Corbin to go to New Japan and hit the end of dates on everyone and their mother. That's such a beautiful move that they gave to him, and I love that move. And NXT Baron Corbin with Braun Breaker was amazing. And poor Baron Corbin. What could have been? What should have been? He should have been a bigger deal than he was.
Well, Corbin's post is suggesting that he's retiring.
No.
Interesting. Well,
I mean, he doesn't say the words, but it's kind of leaning towards that. But you know, I'm sure things will be clarified in the days ahead.
You know, he's going. He'll get a good deal with. Oh, I think. Steve, I think we lost. Oh no, we lost Steve. Oh.
Steven, come back.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so upsetting.
I know.
Well, what I said is just like, because again, a lot of people, their contracts are up. And again, like Liv just resigned, like Rhea just resigned. They say KO hasn't resigned yet, but like people are saying like KO resigned.
Unbelievable.
And that's so crazy because I literally just watched on their YouTube channel yesterday. They do that like spooky, like you put your hands in the box and see what it was. And like Indy was in all of that.
I know. She was on
I
a
think
lot.
she was just on SmackDown last week with Candace.
We need to get Steven better internet, or he needs to figure out.
Steven, come back.
He needs to figure out what the Bloodline, OG Bloodline, figured out how to hold.
On the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh, oh. On the line. Love isn't always on time. Oh, oh, oh.
And he's back.
Sorry about that. Me and my fat thumbs.
Unbelievably.
It's my own fault this time. But yeah, that broke. Yeah. All the headlines. It may be, but all the headlines I saw were specifically saying Corbin was released. So you know that may have caused my being mistaken reporting this. But yeah, either way, all their contracts were just about up.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't have much. I mean, he'll probably be something on the NCWHH continues, but like he was such a company guy, Baron Corbin, that like he put a lot of people over and just never really got enough. But like again, when he first came up, they pushed him to the moon, and no one liked him, myself included. So, I learned to respect him over the years. Like even like the happy, sad Corbin, all those gimmicks, like really made me appreciate him. But yeah, Indy Hartwell's surprising too. Tegan Knox, not really.
She was just on TV like a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I literally, when you dropped off, I said to Nick, she was just on TV with Candace and Nia last week.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I mean, but you never know. I mean, what's his name was on. I mean, again, I'm not talking about name redacted Odyssey Jones, but you know, some people are on TV and then they get released a couple days later. Like I feel like Mojo Rawley that happened to too. Like he was on TV like Raw, and then the next day he was released.
I don't know. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
No, I go start.
Go ahead, Steve. What else you got?
The WWDID program that you covered earlier. That seems that played to me like it was that they're not really wink not going to be involved with how the schools operate, but it's more like a mark of certification. And of course, hey, you know, maybe we get first crack at the prospects in exchange for you know, the mark of quality. And of course, it's all people that it's all people that they know.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, you're getting. I mean, there at the end of the day, right? There's no one that like it's a big name, whether it's like Joe Henry or whoever. Like on the indies that WWE doesn't know about, right? Like they have some sort of eyes on somebody. Like anyone that they sign has been doing it for at least a significant period of time successfully, where they say like, all right, I could tell this person has potential. Like they're not going to, and that's what NXT is for too. Like it's putting them on a platform to let them perfect it so that when they go to main, they don't look like a bumbling idiot. And that's kind of, I think this is the precursor. Like this is the grassroots program of that.
They're like creating levels of minor leagues.
Yeah, exactly. It's single A. It's single A versus NXT's triple A.
Exactly, and whichever level TNA would be.
Oh, Steve, that made you talking about AA and AAA. Like, congratulations, sir, on your boys winning.
Oh, yes, Steven is a Dodger fan. He got his Dodger World Series, non-pandemic World Series, I guess.
Oh, well, that'll be my closing bit of business then.
Wow. On that note,
I'm sorry. I'll pause it before you have to pay for that. So.
All right, Steve. Since you got your little glued in, what's your last shot, or if that was?
Looking forward to the ECW NXT show next week with some of the ECW originals. Dawn Marie, who's seen Dawn Marie in like a dog's age? Francine, yeah, Dawn Marie, Woodbridge, New Jersey's own.
Nice. My girl, Woodbridge.
And a 10-woman tag, with Jordan Grace and all the newbies that just got there, and that should have been. I see people commenting that should have been War Games, but
yeah,
very well could have
been. Especially if
next year's War Games, so I'll be up on Maine by then.
I know. Yeah, seriously, there's just so much talent. It's unbelievable at NXT now. That he just really replayed. Like we feel like right after WrestleMania, we're like the roster's depleted. They're going, and it's like now in a matter of like a month, they signed 3 or 4 top tier talents. And Jordan Grace, she's coming to WWE. I don't know if she's signed yet.
Well, also because I broke down and told you I was buying Bound for Glory, so we did watch Bound for Glory live. And with her dropping the belt, I'm like, she's going to WWE.
Yeah.
And I think her contract is technically up in January, like 2025, but
Royal Rumble.
running by the Raw.
Yeah. And her husband's contract is up, I think, at the same time, Jonathan Gresham. So, yeah, bring him over too. He's pretty good himself.
Exactly.
I agree with you, but I feel like she's more main roster to me, and he's more NXT. But maybe they're both being NXT.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Steve,
Yep.
Well put. Pleasure as always. You, sir, are cut off. You did well.
Yeah.
And we have a new segment now. We have a new drop. When you do a great call, you get a great call comment.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
No.
You knew there was going to be at least one Chris Jericho drop.
There was a new drop. I did not expect to have to watch The Learning Tree when
You're
I went on a
ring-ding-dong
rant
dandy.
last week about him. Don't encourage him, Ed. Don't encourage.
Ed loved it. And you know what?
Oh, God, now get ready, sister.
Yeah. This is what happens. You know what happens when you come on this show?
And agree with Nick?
And you're a regular? You get put on a list of regulars. And regulars get intros. Ed, welcome. Ed, welcome in.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
What are you drinking? What are you thinking, Ed?
So I'm drinking an Alani cherry slush energy drinks. Trying to keep the energy up, guys. Work was rough. And what am I thinking? Nick, that's an absolutely great question. Listen, we could go and we could talk about all the cool stuff that happened on Raw, like the Karrion Kross and Bo Dallas stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys caught the stuff on Twitter or Karrion's Instagram, or after
Yes.
Miz got hijacked.
Where he's like, he's dead.
Yeah, Scarlett was like, "Hey, Miz got Miz got kidnapped," and he's like, "Oh, he's dead. He's done."
I did not see that.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. I'll look for him for 5 minutes, but
we'll come back. It's whatever.
yeah,
I mean, listen,
he's like after 5 minutes, I really don't care.
I'm gonna be back in the hotel at 10. It's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, we could talk about that. We could talk about all the cool Bloodline stuff. We could talk about the weird mishandling of the Elite. I don't know what's going on with that. They're just going home apparently.
They're working from home.
Oh, right.
I appreciate it.
But they burned a bunch of documents and left Brandon to die.
Well, they always leave Brandon to die.
True.
I mean, we could talk about Darby being that SpongeBob meme and then falling through the announce table. Just all of it wasn't good. It was all bad. But guys, I brought it up last week. I've been thinking about it since too. Like wrestling's greatest what ifs, right? Like, what if Sting was the third man instead of Hogan? Right? It's interesting. What if we got Karrion Kross booked in the middle of like the Bray Wyatt, Bobby Lashley stuff? Because Karrion talked about that. Interesting. What if Finn Balor never got injured? What if he was, what if he actually had a run with the Universal title, right?
Probably one of the biggest for me.
Listen, like, what if Goldberg had hair? Like, that's one of the, honestly, wrestling's biggest what ifs. Have you ever seen those photos of him from the 90s, that luscious long hair?
No, I
Yeah, but so did Stone Cold.
Yeah, speaking of, I mean, listen, what if what if Moxley and everybody in the Blackpool Combat Club, everybody just shaved head, goatee, double knee pad, jean shorts, gold chain, nobody's doing it like them.
I don't want any of that.
Wrestling's greatest what ifs.
It's interesting. It is interesting though, like if the Sting was in it, because like the industry would have been changed completely.
Absolutely.
I don't think it would have gotten over as much as it did.
I don't know. I mean,
Hogan, I don't think it will.
I mean, listen, you caught lightning in a bottle with Hogan, right? It does take away a little bit from the realism because, like, I don't know if you've seen interviews with Scott Hall or Kevin Nash after the fact, and they were like, "Yeah, we wanted those, like, the following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order, those PSAs. They wanted those to feel different than any promo that was ever done, like, up to that point." And Hogan, or not Hogan, I'm sorry. Hall and Nash both are kind of like speaking with like a regular, just kind of like, "Hey, we're here, we're gonna kick your ass," kind of thing. And Hogan's still doing this, brother. Like,
yeah, he doesn't know how to not Hogan.
So what's interesting about like, so I was talking about this yesterday on one of my podcast buddy Javier's show. Is like we were talking about the Bloodline. It's like I actually think, and I didn't tell you this. It's interesting. Like I actually think that the Bloodline could be. You talk about all those interviews, like you watch Eric Bischoff back. He's like 83 weeks. He talks about it every time he takes a dump. And
he's talking about it now, right? I'm pretty sure he's live on his YouTube channel. He's talking about it right now.
Come out 83 weeks. And literally, like when he looked at this, like he was talking about the NWO being its own show. They wanted Thunder to be the NWO show. And honestly, I think this is gonna sound crazy because there's not enough yet, but there could be. Like the Bloodline could be the NWO of this generation, and it could be its own show where the Ulafala or whatever the Rock's stupid belt from Muhammad Ali that he got and he carries around everywhere with him. Like I would not be shocked if like one of the shows becomes the Bloodline show. Just like SmackDown kind of is the Bloodline show already, but like I wouldn't be shocked if like that was kind of what Bischoff wanted the NWO to be, and like it's just like I don't know. The Bloodline actually has legitimate people, like enough family members that you could probably do a whole show on it.
I mean, listen, Nikki, you're rolling your eyes, but like pro wrestling's greatest what ifs. What if SmackDown was the Bloodline show? It's the see, Nick gets it.
With me every week about heel and faces. You want a whole show that's run by heel.
No, because they're all fighting with different.
You're Mr.
Jey Uso could be fighting Roman for the Ulafala. That's the whole idea. And Jey Uso's the face. You want to see him. He never got that. I'm just saying. Here's my match.
Mr. Heel versus face.
Listen, you can get a debuting Tala Tonga and then get a smaller guy. Call him Small Tonga. Like, you bring Hornswoggle back. Small Tonga. Yeah. Come on.
He did just sign a Legends deal.
Did he really?
Just have him go to the tanning salon for a little bit, and he'll, because he's always so pale.
Oh, speaking of getting a tan, Adam Cole, like another one of pro wrestling's greatest what ifs. What if his spray tan was even?
I was gonna say if he didn't get a tan.
No, his spray tans are notoriously bad.
What if Adam Cole stayed healthy?
Ooh, that's another. See, Nick, you get it. It's
him and Britt broke up. Have some decorum.
I do feel bad for him, I guess, but it's one of those like, what are they doing with him? Like, I was supposed to believe that, like, I don't know. I caught clips of him and Buddy, and it's like Buddy looks like he should tear Adam Cole in half. And I had the same criticism with Cody and Darby. Like, Cody looked like he should have just picked up Darby, tore him in two, and then just thrown both the halves of him into the crowd.
Yep.
It's a hard sell. And I like Adam Cole, but it's one of those, like, watching the two of them go at it. I'm like, man, I don't want to say they were right, but like, man, maybe Adam Cole should just be a manager.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, when you see the Michael Cole next to Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, when your announcer is more jacked than like a guy who's supposed to be wrestling for your world title, like, what is going on?
Yeah, but that's kind of, I hate to say it, to play devil's, as Nikki likes to say, avocado.
Oh, delicious.
But like Kevin Nash used to say that crap about like every wrestler that wasn't 6 foot tall. Like CM Punk, what are you, a chef at McDonald's Waffle House?
It's a line cook at McDonald's.
Oh, I could do a big boot.
But I get because he's actually walked that back, that he's like, no, like there's something to him. Like there's something to Punk. But I get what he means, that like, I could be Adam Cole, right? But I couldn't be Kevin Nash. I couldn't be the Ultimate Warrior. You know, I couldn't be a Buddy Matthews.
I just think Buddy Matthews was just such the wrong opponent.
So okay, so
like, and I'm honestly kind of upset that he resigned with AEW. Again, my wrestling couple, I think under Triple H he could have been back in WWE. But again, whatever decision he wanted, but like he dominated so much, and like how he lost was like shitty. And then it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna shake hands, and like, yeah, I'm gonna pass you off to my dad now. Like, and also, Aleister Black is gonna lose. Sorry, Malachi Black is gonna lose. I think they're each. I think Ronnie's gonna win 2. I think Adam Cole's gonna win 2.
Why is he number 2?
They're gonna fight each other.
Why is he number 2 in this whole thing? Like, shouldn't it be Brody, then Aleister's the last person? Like, I don't get that. Or Malachi.
Well, that's because I think it's gonna be Adam Roddy is gonna be their third match. They're each gonna win 2 and then have to fight each other.
Oh, because MJF puts it together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, MJF booking matches. But I don't know. I think it's the wrong opponent. I think they should have done like a smaller, more Adam Cole-sized man.
Adam Cole-sized?
Well, who else is Adam Cole-sized? Like Serpentico?
Yeah, give him one of the top flight kids.
Yeah, that's real crap.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Just feed him. I was going to say Action Andrade. Is that guy's name?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Man, I completely forgot. Like
Or give him Leo Rush. Or yeah.
Leo.
Adam Cole has a physique of a high school sophomore quarterback.
No, I listen. Honestly, like the high school quarterbacks that I went to high school with made Adam Cole look small. Like,
yeah. I agree.
Holy shit, man! Like,
I don't know. Well, one of his first returns to like AEW, I think one of his first like promos. I think I told him, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he looks like he was out of shape too." And it was like, "Oh man!" Like I saw him last week at ShopRite. Like it was just like it was man.
I don't want to body shame people.
I don't want to body shame, but like also this is also like a movie. You know, like it's all, you know, like you have to script it. It's like Adam Cole's the type of person you have to script it away where he has a group around him or something extra that helps him elevate to a main event status. And unfortunately, like, yeah, that I think that's why, like, because Vince McMahon was just always about like just appearances, but like that's why he's like, oh yeah, this guy could talk. He'd be great. Like, look at what's his name, Robbie E. or whatever he is now, Mr. Stone. Like he was a
Robbie though. Like he was amazing. He was absolutely fantastic. And it's not even like Robbie E was a bad wrestler either. But like him and Him and Jesse Goddard's?
Mm.
What, the bromance?
Mm.
I would honestly even take Robbie E and Robbie T. Like, come on, with like the list and whatnot. Come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, they all have potential.
They just like pigeonhole people into like this thing. It's like, all right, well, you're just gonna again, like Robert Stone, like you're a good looking guy, you can talk, like you're gonna follow Ava around, like it's stupid. Like it was so much better. Like I liked him and Chelsea when they were together for that brief.
Agreed.
period.
But it also boils down to because I was going to say a couple of things. One, I sort of agree with Cody. I don't know if you guys saw what he said about like body shaming wrestlers, but he's like, absolutely body shame me. He's like, I'm supposed to be this larger than life person on TV. Like I should be like jacked and, you know, glistening muscles and all this stuff. So if like I'm not, and you want to be like, hey, why is the guy that's like fake fighting on TV doesn't look like he should be there? Like that's a valid criticism. You could also say the opposite, that like, hey, your dad was like the biggest example of you don't need to do that. Yeah. But Dusty had so much physical charisma and wrestled that style. He didn't need to be super jacked. He was supposed to be the common everyman. Like that was the point.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly. Like you don't need to be. Yeah, I don't know. It's like wrestling's changed so much where like you can build up a match and script a match so that that person looks as strong or as weak as you want them to look. Yeah, but they should wrestle that style of what they are though. Like one of my biggest criticisms when Swerve and Keith Lee were tag champs, like Keith Lee was bumping around for the Acclaim. Yeah. Like he should rip those two in half. He honestly should have picked up Max Caster and should have been like beating Anthony Bowens with him, right? Like, like he shouldn't be, you know, off his feet with the first drop kick thrown at him.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, speaking of, again, I'm not trying to body shame, but like if you go back 10 years to PWG, there's a specific promo I was going to reference, that Mount Rushmore promo with Kevin Steen, the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole. Adam Cole's the heavyweight champ, the Young Bucks are the tag champs, and Kevin Owens like, listen, I tried to beat Cole and I couldn't, so now I got your back. Adam Cole is jacked. Like he's like 15 pounds heavier and he's ripped and jacked. It's like, where's that guy? Because that should be the guy that's on TV.
Yeah, but age affects us all.
I think I'm older than him.
Yeah, but you can't, like when you're in your 20s, you could put on all that stuff. When you're in your 30s, you're not.
Stupid. I think I know. Even Cody said this. That like in WWE, after a while, he got lazy, and like you can tell like kind of how his body, like, especially when he was like Stardust, you can tell he was bigger. And I think maybe because I feel like Cole was in shape when he first came to NXT, and then like the later and later it got. Especially after you hear like Vince McMahon wants to shave your head and put you as a manager to Bearcat Lee, like who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But that's something. But I was going to say too. Going to, you know, speaking of bad characters, like, you know, shaving Adam Cole's head and Bearcat Lee. Listen, I know that they're going to let Corbin and Indy and Nixon Newell, what the hell's her WWE name? Yeah, they're going to let them, you know, they're going to let their contracts expire. And that's a bummer because they're all really good. But like, I mean, Corbin to a point, right? He's definitely like a homegrown WWE guy. And definitely wouldn't want to do the indies or anything else because you started at the big leagues. Yeah. But what would you do with the three of them right now?
I think I said it before that I think you put Baron Corbin in New Japan. Have them do again. They ended.
Wait,
I love it. No, trust me, I love it.
Hold on. What would you do with them now in WWE or in general?
Yeah. I was gonna say like what storylines would you give them over other people right now?
In WWE.
Yeah.
No, that's where I agree with you. Like you don't have anything for Corbin. You don't really have much. Like unless you're gonna put Corbin, like he had the Apollo Crews, and you want to put them in a tag division for a little bit. There's really not much you could do with Corbin on that front. Like he was always a guy that helps elevate other talent.
I would take either Andrade or Carmelo, put him with LA Knight, run that program. I think you get better matches.
Or you mean Corbin with LA Knight?
Yeah, you can. That's his theme. Or honestly, if you want to, what is it? Put him on Raw. We were tag team champions in NXT, and now we're fighting each other for the IC belt. I'm pretty sure Corbin was United States champion, not IC champion.
Yeah.
But like, have him run a program with Braun because they had chemistry on NXT. He
That
had
makes
two
sense.
of the best moves in WWE that was protected for so long.
I don't know. Just throwing him in the mid card for like what? For 1 month, 2 months. I don't think there really is anything for him to do anymore. Like, he's put over people. He had the bad Corbin gimmick was, or the whatever it is, like broke, sad, whatever, all bad, sad, broke, whatever it was. Everything Corbin, like, he's not going to get any further. He won the Money in the Bank. He's not going to do anything more than what he did. So at this point, I think to Ed's point, like, you don't have anything for him. Indy was on, like, maybe Indy. I think Indy had more of a future than he did because you could
Absolutely.
put Indy with, yeah, like, oh my God, I want to call her Chelsea Green. Why do I want to call her?
Candice LeRae.
Yeah,
They're already together. They already were a thing.
yeah, but like, you could keep them together. You could rebuild the way, or you could, you know, have her at least come up and be more of a factor on the main roster as an assistant to somebody or whatever. She did all those gimmicks with Chelsea Green. She could be with Chelsea Green. Like, you could do much more with Indy than the only person out of the three of them I think had potential was Indy. I think Corbin's reached his max, and you know,
I think Tegan was very much
Tegan's
a Triple H girl, but I think if you want to talk injury prone, I think Tegan Nixon is up there.
Yeah.
Because girl, every time, also kind of Chelsea Green, every time she got a thing, her knees fell apart.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those, and it's one of those too. I mean, you could grab, you know, all three of these people that they're going to let go. You could put Baron on SmackDown and, like, you know, have some kind of weird mashup stable with like him, I don't know, Andrade and Carmelo, and do something. Maybe they're going, you know, can't beat him, join him kind of thing. So like the three of them team up and they go to fight LA Knight or something. But again, it's going to last you what, 2 months?
Yeah.
right.
Like I have no clue what to do with these guys. So like, does it make sense? Because like creative has nothing for you legitimately. Because like TV time right now, especially with Raw and SmackDown being 2 hours, you only got so much TV time now.
Yeah.
And there's other people that like right this second are a little more deserving. Unfortunately.
No, exactly.
I also agree with Steven, by the way. Put him in a third booth when or put him third in the booth when McAfee comes back.
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't want to see Baron Corbin in the booth. I don't need to hear him talk that much. Ed,
Nick?
before we let you go, last shot.
Ooh, another one of wrestling's greatest what ifs. What if Darby washed his jacket?
Washed his. He said the thing. He did the thing.
Yeah, Darby Allin sucks.
Say it again, just so everyone knows what you're.
For the kids in the back.
Darby Allin sucks.
He did the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, Ed.
Ed, we love you.
You know, you could argue that was a great call. And, you know, he was talking about learning a lot, and we learned a lot on that call.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
It was a great call.
Oh,
Great call.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
I love it so much. Because it hates you, I love it. I'm going to do it again. When you make a great call, this is what happens.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
Oh my God, do I divorce you on our Nik-A-Versary podcast?
Big Bill with the thumbs up. It's just the best.
Oh,
That whole thing. See, Ed loves it. Ed loves it.
Now
He's
he
a real ring-a-ding-ding-dong.
Don't
Very
encourage him. Stop encouraging him. All right, we got 5 minutes.
5 minutes until SmackDown.
5 minutes, everybody. 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Take your snacks out. Take your dogs out of the snacks. I'm throwing off our dog is not here. He's at grandma's.
Take your dog out of the snacks out of the dogs.
The cat's out of the bagel now. Rugrat. My millennial kids know. How dare you?
Person. But about that time that we take us out, we're updating things as we go. So it's just about closing time. So there's only one person to take us out, an eloquent person. Nicole's favorite wrestler, one of her favorite wrestlers.
Oh, my King of Kings.
The King of Kings are not so CCO. Triple H taking us out for closing time.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. Banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
We did that tonight, and I'm so happy that we were able to do that.
Me
About
too.
4 weeks without an incident or so. We're over a month. We've eclipsed Jey Uso's Intercontinental title reign with lack of incidents, so we're proud of ourselves. That being said, you got a few minutes until SmackDown. You do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here. Bye.